Hi there, and welcome to the very first episode of my podcast series called Speak Like a Native Daily Idioms You Should Know. If you're someone who wants to improve your English and sound more natural when you speak, then this series is perfect for you. You may have studied English grammar and vocabulary, but have you ever listened to a native speaker and thought, wait, what does that mean? That's because English is full of idioms. Short expressions that don't always mean what the words say. Idioms are used in everyday conversations, in movies, in social media, and even at work. If you don't understand idioms, you might feel lost, even if your grammar is good. But if you learn and use them, you'll sound more confident, fluent, and native-like. That's why I'm here, to help you learn the most useful idioms in daily life in a simple and friendly way. In each episode, I'll teach you 10 commonly used idioms. I'll explain their meanings, tell you when and how to use them, and share real-life examples from my own life to make them easy to remember. Everything is in clear English for A1 to B2 level learners. So let's get started with episode 1, Common Idioms for Starting My Day. Idioms I use when I start my day. 1. Rise and shine. Definition. Wake up and get out of bed with energy and a good attitude. When to use it? In the morning, especially to tell someone to get out of bed. My story. Every morning, my alarm goes off at 7 a.m. I don't always feel like getting up, but I say to myself, rise and shine. It helps me start the day with a smile. I also say it to my younger brother when I wake him up for school. Example, rise and shine. It's a beautiful morning outside. 2. Hit the sack. Definition. Go to bed. Go to sleep. When to use it? At night, when you're ready to sleep. My story. After a long day at work, I eat dinner, check my phone, and then hit the sack around 10:30 p.m. I try to sleep early so I can feel fresh the next day. Example, I'm super tired. I'm going to hit the sack early tonight. 3. Under the weather. Definition. Feeling sick or not well. When to use it? When talking about your health, especially when you feel a little sick. My story. Last winter, I caught a cold. I had a sore throat and felt really tired. I called my boss and said, I'm feeling under the weather today. He told me to rest. Example, she's not at school today because she's a bit under the weather. 4. In hot water. Definition. In trouble, especially after doing something wrong. When to use it? When someone is in a bad situation or facing punishment. My story. One time, I forgot to pay my phone bill. When my phone service was cut off, I was in hot water because I missed an important work call. Example, he's in hot water with his parents for staying out too late. 5. A piece of cake. Definition. Something that is very easy to do. When to use it? When talking about a task that you find simple. My story. At first, I thought learning how to make coffee with a French press would be difficult, but once I tried it, I realized it was a piece of cake. Example, don't worry about the exam. It'll be a piece of cake if you study. 6. Break the ice. Definition, to start a conversation and make people feel comfortable. When to use it? At meetings, parties, or anytime you're meeting new people. My story. When I started my new job, I didn't know anyone, so I told a funny story about my pet dog. Everyone laughed. It was a great way to break the ice. Example, telling a joke is a good way to break the ice at a party. 7. Let the cat out of the bag. Definition, to reveal a secret by mistake. When to use it? When someone says something they shouldn't have. My story. My friend was planning a surprise birthday for his wife. I didn't mean to, but I let the cat out of the bag when I asked her about the cake flavor. She was surprised, but not in the way we planned. Example, don't let the cat out of the bag. It's supposed to be a surprise. Tashar 8. Once in a blue moon definition. Something that happens very rarely. When to use it? When talking about something unusual or rare. My story. I love hiking, but I live in the city and don't have much free time, so I only go hiking once in a blue moon. I wish I could go more often. Example, he only visits his hometown once in a blue moon. Hacker 9. Hit the nail on the head. Definition: to describe something exactly right. When to use it? When someone says the perfect answer or identifies the problem. My story: during a team meeting, we couldn't figure out why sales were dropping. I said, maybe our website is too slow. My manager said I hit the nail on the head. Example: you hit the nail on the head. That's exactly the reason. 10. Cost an arm and a leg. Definition: very expensive. When to use it? When talking about something that costs too much. My story: I once bought a concert ticket for my favorite band. It was amazing, but it cost an arm and a leg. I had to save up for weeks to buy it. Example: that designer bag costs an arm and a leg. I can't afford it. Quick recap. Let's review the 10 idioms we learned today. Idiom: meaning. Rise and shine, wake up with energy, hit the sack, go to sleep, under the weather, feeling sick, in hot water, in trouble, a piece of cake, very easy, break the ice, start a conversation comfortably, let the cat out of the bag, reveal a secret, once in a blue moon, very rarely, hit the nail on the head, be exactly right, cost an arm and a leg, very expensive. Shh. Practice time. Try these questions. To help you remember the idioms, try answering these questions out loud or in your notebook. 1. What's something that feels like a piece of cake to you? 2. Have you ever been in hot water? What happened? 3. Do you know someone who only visits once in a blue moon? 4. What's something you bought that cost an arm and a leg? 5. How do you usually break the ice when meeting new people? Closing words. Thanks for joining me in this first episode of Speak Like a Native: Daily Idioms You Should Know. Today, we focused on idioms I use when starting my day, and now you can use them too. Idioms are fun, powerful tools that help you speak more naturally and connect better with others. In the next episode, we'll talk about idioms for work and study life. Perfect for students, office workers, and anyone who wants to improve English for daily communication. Until then, keep listening, keep practicing, and remember, learning idioms is a piece of cake when you enjoy the journey. Hi again, and welcome to episode 2 of my series, Speak Like a Native: Daily Idioms You Should Know. I'm so happy you're here. In the first episode, we explored idioms that I often use in the morning and daily routines. If you haven't listened to it yet, make sure you check it out. There were some useful ones like rise and shine, hit the sack, and once in a blue moon. Now let's move on to something very important: English idioms in work and study life. Whether you're working in an office, attending school, learning online, or even running your own business, you'll hear these idioms a lot. If you want to understand your colleagues, teachers, or clients better and sound more confident, then these are idioms you need to know. As always, I'll share real examples from my life to help you remember them easily. Ready? Let's jump in. Idioms for work and study life. 1. Burn the midnight oil. Definition: to stay up late working or studying. When to use it? When someone works late into the night. My story: during exam week, I often burn the midnight oil. I make a big cup of tea, put on soft music, and review my notes. It's not always fun, but sometimes it's the only way to get everything done. Example: she had to burn the midnight oil to finish her assignment on time. 2. Pull your weight. Definition: to do your fair share of work in a team. When to use it? When someone contributes equally in group projects or teamwork. My story: in one group project, one teammate wasn't helping much. I finally told him, "You need to pull your weight. We can't do everything alone." After that, he became more responsible. Example: if everyone pulls their weight, we'll finish the job quickly. 3. Cut corners. Definition: to do something the quick or cheap way, usually by sacrificing quality. When to use it? When someone tries to finish something faster by not doing it properly. My story: at my first job, I tried to finish a report quickly by skipping some steps. My manager noticed and said, "Don't cut corners, do it the right way." I learned my lesson. Example: The company cut corners on safety, and now there are problems. Number 4, back to the drawing board. Definition: to start over because the first plan failed. When to use it: when an idea or project doesn't work and you need to make a new plan. My story: once I made a video presentation for class, but the teacher didn't like it. It was too long and confusing. I had to go back to the drawing board and make a shorter, clearer version. Example: the design didn't work, so it's back to the drawing board. Number 5, get the ball rolling. Definition: to start something, especially a project or task. When to use it: at the beginning of a meeting, event, or group task. My story: in a team meeting, everyone was silent, so I spoke first to get the ball rolling. Once I started, others joined in too. Sometimes you just need someone to take the first step. Example: let's get the ball rolling with some ideas for the new product. Hashtag 6, learn the ropes. Definition: to learn how to do a new job or activity. When to use it: when someone is new and is still learning. My story: when I started my job at the cafe, I didn't know how to use the coffee machine. My coworker showed me everything. After a week, I finally learned the ropes. Example: it's my first week. I'm still learning the ropes. Number 7, on the same page. Definition: to agree or have the same understanding. When to use it: in meetings or teamwork when checking if everyone agrees. My story: during a school project, one friend thought we were writing an essay, but the rest of us were making a slideshow. We had to talk again and make sure we were on the same page. Example: before we move on, let's make sure we're all on the same page. Number 8, think outside the box. Definition: to think creatively or in a new way. When to use it: when someone suggests something different or original. My story: at work, our manager asked how we could attract more customers. I suggested giving away free bookmarks with every book. She said, "Great, that's thinking outside the box." Example: we need a creative solution. Try to think outside the box. 9, a learning curve. Definition: the time and effort needed to learn something new. When to use it: when something is hard to learn at first. My story: when I first started using video editing software, I made so many mistakes. It had a steep learning curve, but after a few weeks of practice, I became comfortable. Example: the new system has a learning curve, but you'll get used to it. 10, call it a day. Definition: to stop working for the day. When to use it: at the end of a work or study session. My story: sometimes I work until I feel tired and unfocused. That's when I say, let's call it a day. It's better to rest and start fresh tomorrow than force myself to keep going. Example: we've done enough for now. Let's call it a day. Let's review. Here are the 10 idioms from this episode. Idiom, meaning. Burn the midnight oil. Work late at night. Pull your weight. Do your fair share of work. Cut corners. Do something the easy but low quality way. Back to the drawing board. Start over after a failed plan. Get the ball rolling. Start something. Learn the ropes. Learn how to do something new. On the same page. Agree or understand the same thing. Think outside the box. Be creative. A learning curve. Time it takes to learn something new. Call it a day. Stop working for the day. Practice time. Let's talk. Let's practice together. Try answering these questions using today's idioms. 1. Have you ever the midnight oil to finish something important? 2. In your last group project, did everyone pull their weight? 3. Have you ever had to go back to the drawing board? 4. What's something new you learned recently that had a learning curve? 5. How do you usually get the ball rolling in a team meeting? Say your answers out loud or write them in a notebook. Practice makes perfect. Closing thoughts. Thanks for listening to episode 2 of Speak Like a Native, Daily Idioms You Should Know. Today, we focused on useful expressions for work and study life, phrases you'll hear and use in school, meetings, teamwork, and job interviews. Remember, idioms are more than just expressions. They're tools for connection, clarity, and confidence. The more you use them, the more natural your English will sound. In episode 3, we'll dive into idioms for talking about emotions and feelings, a really fun and important topic. Until next time, keep practicing, stay curious, and don't forget, if you want to sound natural, idioms are your secret weapon. Welcome to episode 3. Hello and welcome back to Speak Like a Native, Daily Idioms You Should Know. I'm really glad you're here. In the last 2 episodes, we learned idioms for starting your day and for work and study life. If you haven't checked them out yet, I highly recommend going back and giving them a listen. Today, we're moving on to something that we all experience every day, emotions and feelings. Have you ever felt very happy but didn't know how to express it in English? Or maybe you were nervous, angry, or confused but couldn't find the right words to say? That's where idioms can really help. Native speakers often use idioms to talk about their feelings in a fun, natural, and colorful way. In this episode, I'll teach you 10 useful idioms to help you describe emotions, like happiness, anger, fear, sadness, and more. I'll also share personal stories so it's easy for you to understand and remember. Let's get started. Idioms for emotions and feelings. 1. Over the moon. Definition: extremely happy or excited. When to use it? When something amazing happens and you feel great joy. My story. Last year, I got accepted into a program I really wanted to join. When I read the email, I jumped up and shouted. I was over the moon. Example: she was over the moon when she passed her final exam. #2. Down in the dumps. Definition: feeling sad or depressed. When to use it? When you're feeling low or unhappy. My story. There was a time when my best friend moved to another city. I missed her a lot. For a few days, I felt down in the dumps. Example: he's been down in the dumps since he lost his job. And 3, butterflies in my stomach. Definition: feeling nervous or anxious. When to use it? Before an important or scary event. My story. Every time I speak in front of a large group, I get butterflies in my stomach. My hands shake and I feel a little sick, but once I start, I'm fine. Example: I had butterflies in my stomach before the job interview. #4. Blow off steam. Definition: to release anger or stress. When to use it? After a hard day or when you're feeling frustrated. My story. When I feel stressed after work, I go for a long walk or listen to loud music to blow off steam. It really helps me relax. Example: he went for a run to blow off some steam after the argument. 5. Walking on air. Definition: feeling extremely happy and light, like you're floating. When to use it? When you're in a very good mood. My story. I remember when I got my first paycheck. I was walking on air all day. I bought myself a small cake to celebrate. Example: she was walking on air after the concert. It was her favorite band. 6. Lose your temper. Definition: to get angry quickly. When to use it? When someone becomes upset or yells. My story. I try to stay calm, but once someone cut in front of me in line and was very rude. I lost my temper and shouted at him. I felt bad afterward. Example: try not to lose your temper during the meeting. 7. Break someone's heart. Definition: to hurt someone emotionally, especially in love. When to use it? When talking about relationships or sad moments. My story. My friend broke up with her boyfriend after many years. She said it broke her heart, but she knew it was the right thing to do. Example: it broke my heart to see her cry. 8. Bite your tongue. Definition: to stop yourself from saying something, usually something rude or honest. When to use it? When you want to say something, but you hold back. My story. In a meeting, my coworker made a mistake and I wanted to say something, but I bit my tongue because I didn't want to embarrass her in front of others. Example: I had to bite my tongue when he made that silly comment. #9. On edge. Definition: feeling nervous or stressed. When to use it? When someone is not calm and is easily upset. My story. Before my final exam, I couldn't sleep well. I was on edge for the whole week. I kept checking my notes and felt anxious all the time. Example, she's been on edge lately because of the big presentation. 10. Cry over spilled milk. Definition, to be upset about something that can't be changed. When to use it. When you want to tell someone to stop worrying about a past mistake. My story. I once dropped my phone and cracked the screen. I was really upset, but my friend said, "Don't cry over spilled milk. Just get it fixed and move on." She was right. Example, it's no use crying over spilled milk. Let's just try again. Let's review. Here are the 10 idioms for emotions and how we use them. Idiom, meaning. Over the moon, extremely happy. Down in the dumps, feeling sad. Butterflies in my stomach, feeling nervous. Blow off steam, release stress or anger. Walking on air, very happy. Lose your temper, get angry suddenly. Break someone's heart, hurt someone emotionally. Bite your tongue, stop yourself from speaking. On edge, nervous or stressed, cry over spilled milk. Be upset about something that already happened. Practice time. Let's try together. Let's use these idioms in your own sentences. Try answering these questions. 1. When was the last time you were over the moon about something? 2. Have you ever had butterflies in your stomach before a big event? 3. What do you do to blow off steam after a long day? 4. Can you think of a time when you had to bite your tongue? 5. Have you ever felt down in the dumps? What helped you feel better? Say your answers out loud or write them in a notebook. Using idioms in your own sentences will help you remember them better. Closing thoughts. Thanks so much for joining me for episode 3 of Speak Like a Native, Daily Idioms You Should Know. Today we learned some of the most common idioms used to talk about feelings and emotions. Idioms help us express our hearts more clearly, and they make our English sound more real and emotional. Remember, learning idioms is not just about speaking like a native. It's about sharing your true feelings in a natural way. In episode 4, we'll explore idioms that people often use in conversations with friends and family. Perfect for building stronger relationships and sounding friendly and relaxed. Until then, keep practicing, stay curious, and remember, words have power, especially when they come from the heart. Hello, my friend. Welcome back to another episode of Speak Like a Native, Daily Idioms You Should Know. So far, we've explored idioms for starting your day, episode 1, work and study life, episode 2, emotions and feelings, episode 3. And today, we're diving into something very special, idioms that people often use when talking with friends and family. Why is this important? Because everyday conversations are not always about work or study. Sometimes we just want to chat, laugh, share stories, and connect with people we care about. In those moments, native speakers use a lot of casual idioms, friendly expressions that show their personality, humor, and warmth. In this episode, I'll teach you 10 of the most useful idioms I often hear or use in informal conversations with my friends and family. I'll tell you what each idiom means, when to use it, and share a little story from my life to help you understand it naturally. Let's get started. Idioms for friendly conversations. 1. Spill the beans. Definition: to tell a secret or reveal something private. When to use it: when someone shares information that was supposed to be a surprise. My story: my cousin was planning a surprise birthday party for his girlfriend, but his little sister got too excited and spilled the beans during dinner. Everyone laughed, but the surprise was ruined. Example: come on, spill the beans. What did he say about me? #2. Hit it off. Definition: to quickly become friends or get along well with someone. When to use it: when talking about new relationships or friendships. My story: I once met someone at a music event. We started talking about our favorite bands, and we just hit it off right away. We're still friends today. Example: they really hit it off at the party and have been close ever since. #3. Get on someone's nerves. Definition: to annoy or bother someone. When to use it: when someone's behavior is irritating. My story: My brother always plays the same loud song over and over again. I told him, "You're getting on my nerves." He laughed, but then turned the volume down. Example, the way she chews gum really gets on my nerves. 4. Bend over backward. Definition, to try very hard to help someone. When to use it, when someone puts in a lot of effort for another person. My story. My mom always bends over backward to make sure we're happy and comfortable. She works hard, cooks delicious meals, and still finds time to listen to me when I need help. Example, he bent over backward to fix the problem for his friend. Hashmer 5. Hit the nail on the head. Definition, to be exactly right or correct. When to use it, when someone gives the perfect answer or explanation. My story. We were talking about why my younger sister was acting upset. My dad said, "She feels left out." I realized he hit the nail on the head. Example, you hit the nail on the head? That's exactly what I was thinking. Number 6, break the ice. Definition, to start a conversation and make people feel relaxed. When to use it? In awkward or quiet situations like meeting someone for the first time. My story. When I first met my girlfriend's parents, I was nervous, but I told a funny story about my cat to break the ice, and it worked. They laughed. Example, he told a joke to break the ice at the family dinner. 7. The apple of someone's eye. Definition, someone who is loved very much. When to use it? When talking about someone special to you. My story. My little niece is the apple of my eye. She's sweet, funny, and always calls me her favorite uncle. Example, his daughter is the apple of his eye. 8. Blow things out of proportion. Definition, to make something seem more serious than it really is. When to use it? When someone reacts too strongly to a small problem. My story. One time, I accidentally broke a small dish. My aunt got really upset, but later realized she was blowing things out of proportion. Example, don't blow it out of proportion. It was just a small mistake. 9. Cold shoulder. Definition, to ignore someone or act unfriendly. When to use it? When someone is upset and doesn't want to talk. My story. After a small argument with my best friend, she gave me the cold shoulder for 2 days. It felt terrible, but we talked and fixed things. Example, he gave me the cold shoulder after our fight. Nashner 10. Let your hair down. Definition, to relax and enjoy yourself. When to use it? In casual fun situations like parties or weekends. My story. After a long week of work, I like to meet friends, listen to music, and let my hair down. It helps me feel free and refreshed. Example, it's the weekend. Time to let your hair down and have fun. Let's review. Here are the 10 idioms we learned today, all perfect for casual conversations with friends and family. Idiom, meaning, spill the beans, reveal a secret, hit it off, become friends quickly, get on someone's nerves, annoy someone, bend over backward, try hard to help someone, hit the nail on the head, be exactly right, break the ice, make people feel comfortable. The apple of someone's eye, someone very special, blow things out of proportion, react too strongly, cold shoulder, ignore someone, let your hair down, relax and have fun. Practice time. Try these questions. Try answering these questions out loud or in writing to practice using the idioms. 1. Have you ever spilled the beans by accident? 2. Can you remember someone you hit it off with quickly? 3. What's something that gets on your nerves? 4. Who is the apple of your eye? 5. What do you like to do to let your hair down? Closing thoughts. Thanks for tuning in to episode 4 of Speak Like a Native, Daily Idioms You Should Know. Today, we learned idioms that will make your friendly conversations sound more natural, casual, and confident. Remember, idioms are not just about learning words. They help you build better relationships. When you use friendly expressions, people feel more relaxed around you. You sound not only fluent, but also warm, kind, and real. In episode 5, our final episode in this series, we'll explore idioms used in daily decision-making and life lessons. phrases people use when giving advice, learning from mistakes, or talking about choices in life. Until next time, keep learning, keep smiling, and don't be afraid to let your hair down while practicing English. Hey there, and welcome to the final episode of Speak Like a Native, Daily Idioms You Should Know. Over the past 4 episodes, we've learned a total of 40 idioms for starting your day, work and study, emotions and feelings, conversations with friends and family. And now for our last chapter together, I want to focus on something we all deal with: life decisions, personal growth, and lessons we learn along the way. Life is full of ups and downs. Sometimes we make mistakes, sometimes we win, and other times we have to make big choices. In these situations, native speakers often use idioms to express their thoughts, opinions, and advice. Learning these idioms will not only improve your English, it will help you connect more deeply in conversations about life. As always, I'll share 10 powerful idioms with definitions, examples, and personal stories. Let's finish strong. Idioms for life decisions and personal growth. 1. Actions speak louder than words. Definition: what people do is more important than what they say. When to use it: when someone says something but doesn't follow through with action. My story: a friend kept saying he would help me move, but he never showed up. Another friend came without even being asked. That's when I realized actions speak louder than words. Example: he says he cares, but actions speak louder than words. #2. The ball is in your court. Definition: it's your turn to make a decision or take action. When to use it: when someone else has the responsibility to choose or act. My story: I gave my roommate 2 options: stay and follow the house rules or move out. After that, the ball was in his court. Example: I've done all I can. The ball is in your court now. #3. Bite the bullet: to do something difficult or unpleasant that you can't avoid. When to use it: when facing a tough decision or uncomfortable task. My story: I didn't want to go to the dentist because I was scared, but the pain got worse. I finally bit the bullet and made the appointment. Example: I didn't want to apologize, but I bit the bullet and did it. #4. Better late than never. Definition: it's better to do something late than not do it at all. When to use it: when someone is delayed but still shows up or finishes something. My story: I sent my birthday message to a friend one day late. I felt bad, but she smiled and said, "Better late than never." Example: he finally finished the project. Better late than never. 5. Cross that bridge when you come to it. Definition: don't worry about a problem until it happens. When to use it: when you want to avoid worrying about future problems. My story: I was worried about losing my job before the company even made a decision. My friend told me, just cross that bridge when you come to it. He was right. I was stressing for no reason. Example: we don't know if it'll rain. Let's cross that bridge when we come to it. 6. In the long run. Definition: over a long period of time, eventually. When to use it: when talking about long-term results or effects. My story: I used to buy cheap shoes that wore out fast. Now I buy better ones. They cost more, but in the long run, they save me money. Example: it's hard work now, but it will help you in the long run. 7. Let the chips fall where they may. Definition: to accept the results of a decision, no matter what happens. When to use it: when you make a bold choice and are ready for any outcome. My story: I once told my boss I couldn't take on extra work. I was nervous, but I stood my ground and let the chips fall where they may. It actually led to a helpful conversation. Example: I'll tell them how I really feel and let the chips fall where they may. 8. A blessing in disguise. Definition: something that seems bad at first, but turns out to be good. When to use it: when talking about a difficult experience that helped you later. My story: I failed my first interview, and I was really upset, but later I got a job that was a much better fit for me. It was a blessing in disguise. Example: losing that job was a blessing in disguise. It led me to something better. 9. Learn the hard way. Definition: to learn something through personal experience or a mistake. When to use it: when you make an error and gain a lesson from it. My story: I used to skip reading instructions when building furniture. One time, I built a shelf upside down. I learned the hard way to always read carefully. Example: he learned the hard way not to lie to his teacher. 10. Easy come, easy go. Definition: things that are gained quickly can also be lost quickly. When to use it: when you lose something that you didn't work hard for. My story: I once won money from a game and spent it all in 2 days. My dad just said, easy come, easy go. He was right, it didn't last. Example: I lost my bonus already. Oh well, easy come, easy go. Here's a quick review of the 10 idioms from today's episode. Idiom: meaning, actions speak louder than words. What you do is more important than what you say. The ball is in your court. It's your turn to decide or act. Bite the bullet. Do something difficult you don't want to do. Better late than never. It's better to be late than not do it at all. Cross that bridge when you come to it. Don't worry about future problems. In the long run, over time. Let the chips fall where they may. Accept the result of your choice. A blessing in disguise, something good that looks bad at first. Learn the hard way. Learn from a mistake. Easy come, easy go. Things gained easily are lost easily. Practice time, your turn. Take a moment to reflect and answer these questions using today's idioms. 1. Have you ever had to bite the bullet and do something hard? 2. Can you think of a time something bad turned into a blessing in disguise? 3. What's a lesson you learned the hard way? 4. Have you ever let the chips fall where they may in a difficult situation? 5. Do you believe that actions speak louder than words? Why? Say your answers out loud or write them down. The more you use idioms, the more natural your English will sound. Final thoughts. Thank you for learning with me. Wow, you made it to the end of the series. You now know 50 essential English idioms that native speakers use in daily routines, school and work, emotional expression, friendly conversations, life decisions, and lessons. That's a big achievement. Idioms are a powerful part of language. They don't just make your speech more colorful. They help you connect, relate, and understand others better. If you keep listening, practicing, and using these idioms in real conversations, you'll soon sound more confident and fluent, just like a native speaker. This is the end of this idiom series, but it's not the end of our learning journey. Stay tuned, because in my next series, I'll help you learn how to tell stories in English, another important skill that helps you become a great communicator. Until then, keep smiling, keep practicing, and remember, even small steps can lead to big results in the long run. Thanks for learning with me, and speak to you again soon.